Hello, little star. It's time to get cozy and comfortable. You're safe, you're warm, so close your eyes and let's have a nice bedtime story. Tonight's story is called The Library That Only Opened After Dark. In the quietest corner of a very old town, there was a library that nobody talked about very much. During the daytime, it looked perfectly ordinary. It had tall stone walls, dusty windows, and a wooden floor with a brass handle that squeaked when it opened. People came and went, borrowing books, whispering politely as they walked through the aisles. But what nobody realised was that library had a secret. Every night, exactly when the town clock struck midnight, the library changed. And one night, a boy named Harry discovered the secret completely by accident. Harry loved stories more than almost anything. He loved adventure stories, mystery stories, stories about dragons and hidden worlds. If there was a book nearby, Harry would probably be reading it. One evening, Harry had stayed a little too long at the library. He was reading a book about explorers when the librarian suddenly came out from the front desk. "Library is closing in 5 minutes. Harry jumped. He quickly closed his book and ran toward the door, but as he turned the corner of a tall bookshelf, he noticed something strange. At the very back of the library, behind the oldest shelves, there was a small wooden door he had never seen before. It was narrow and slightly crooked, with a tiny golden sign hanging from it. Harry stepped closer. The sign read, "Opens after midnight." Harry blinked. "That's strange," he whispered. Before he could look closer, the main lights flicked off. The librarian called again, "Time to go." Harry hurried outside, but the mysterious little door stayed stuck in his mind all evening. What did it mean? Why would a door only open after midnight? Harry tried going to bed, but curiosity buzzed around his thoughts like tiny mosquitoes. Finally, he decided. He grabbed his coat, quietly slipped outside, and tiptoed down the empty streets toward the library. The town was silent. The moon glowed softly above the rooftops, and when Harry reached the library door, the big clock tower nearby began to chime. Dong! 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 12 times. Midnight. The moment the final chime echoed through the town, something amazing happened. Inside the library, lights began to flicker on by themselves. Warm golden light spilled through the windows. Harry pushed open the front door slowly. The library was alive. Books were sliding gently along the shelves. Ladders were rolling quietly across the floor. Pages fluttered like tiny birds. Harry's eyes widened. Then he heard another sound. Laughter. Soft, cheerful laughter. Harry followed the sound toward the back of the library. The small wooden door was glowing now, and the golden sign sparkled. Harry carefully turned the handle. The door creaked open. Inside was the most incredible room Harry had ever seen. It was enormous, much bigger than the rest of the library. Towering shelves stretched all the way up into darkness. Glowing books floated through the air like balloons, and moving between the shelves were strange little creatures made entirely of paper and ink. Some had bookmark tails, some had tiny spectacles. One was even wearing a detective hat. They hurried around carrying books, stacking them, organising them, and whispering excitedly. One of them spotted Harry. It gasped, "Oh, a reader!" Suddenly, all the creatures rushed over. "A reader is here!" one shouted. "A real reader!" said another. Harry laughed nervously. Hello?" A slightly taller paper creature stepped forward and bowed politely. "Welcome to the Night Library," it said. Harry blinked. "The Night Library?" "Yes," the creature said proudly.
During the day, people borrow books, but during the night, we take care of the stories.
Harry looked around. But what do you mean? The creature pointed upward. Harry followed his finger, and that's when he noticed something surprising. Some of the floating books looked faded. Others were flickering like dim light bulbs.
These stories are in trouble, the creature explained. If nobody remembers them, they begin to fade away.
Harry frowned. You mean stories can disappear? The creature nodded sadly.
Unless someone helps us.
Harry felt a sudden determination bubble inside him. I'll help. The little creatures cheered.
Wonderful!
They handed Harry a glowing book.
This one needs help,
said the creature. Harry opened it. Inside was an adventure story about a brave explorer climbing a giant mountain. But the last page stopped suddenly. The hero had reached the most dangerous cliff, and then the story ended. Harry thought for a moment. Then he grabbed a quill from the table. Carefully, he began writing. He wrote about the explorer finding a hidden path, about climbing through a fierce storm, about finally reaching the top of the mountain and seeing the sunrise spread across the world. As Harry finished the final sentence, the book suddenly burst into warm golden light. The faded pages brightened. The cover shimmered. The little creatures gasped.
You did it!
They cheered.
Another story saved! Hooray!
More books floated toward Harry, and for the next hour he helped repair stories that were fading away. A pirate finally found his treasure, a lost puppy made it home, a shy dragon learned how to fly. Each time Harry helped a story, the book glowed brighter and brighter. Soon the entire library sparkled with warm golden light. Finally, the tallest paper creature smiled.
You've helped more stories tonight than anyone in years.
Harry grinned. I didn't know stories needed looking after. The creature nodded gently.
Stories are like little pieces of imagination, it said. If nobody reads them, they slowly disappear.
Harry looked around at the glowing bookshelves. He realized something wonderful. Stories weren't just things people read. They were treasures, and treasures needed people who cared enough to protect them. Just then, the town clock chimed again. Dong! 1 o'clock. The floating books slowly drifted back onto the shelves. The little creatures waved goodbye.
Come back again any time, Harry.
Harry stepped back through the small wooden door. The library looked normal again. Quiet, still. But as Harry walked home under the starry sky, he felt proud of the secret he now knew. Because somewhere inside that silent building, stories were still glowing, waiting for someone to remember them. And from that night on, Harry understood something really important. Stories don't stay alive just because they are written. They stay alive because people keep reading them, sharing them, and passing them on. And Harry decided from this day on, he would do exactly that. And now, little star, it's time for you to get some rest. The night is calm, the dark is gentle, and you are safe. Sleep well and sweet dreams.